celebrating some of Nigeria's finest citizens. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, let's first of all give ourselves a round of applause for being here, for being alive, for being in Nigeria and being successful and having impact in our community. Please give yourself a round of applause.
The evening and with Anthem by Laulu Benjo Dan.
This is anthem in the world. Nigeria has come a long way. Nigerians have come a long way, and we'll be celebrating amazing Nigerians tonight.
That's right. So before we continue with the rest of the night, we'll like to take some house rules for safety reasons. So to my left, you'll find the bathrooms and also find a emergency exit in case, God forbid, this is emergency. You'll also find an exit to your right as well. And you know, the Vanguard President Tv Awards is legendary. So please make sure you share your pictures as long as the hashtag Vanguard President Tv Awards 2022. We didn't. Is there a cut-off time for wishing people Happy New Year?
See, you can wish anybody Happy New Year to the 31st of December.
That's right. So yes. Happy New Year to our distinguished guest for the night.
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you look by your left or your right, you will see a beautiful person beside you. Can you please give them a wonderful smile and just say Happy New Year?
That's right.
Happy New Year.
A year of blessings and prosperity. That is what we like. Okay, so let's kick things off with our welcome address.
So, we're going to be inviting up the general manager, editor of Vanguard newspapers. The name is Mr. Benga.
A round of applause for our editor, Mr. Benga Adefeya, as he comes to the stage.
Thank you. Our chairman of today's occasion, Dr. Dere Awoshika, the chairman of Vanguard newspapers, Uncle Sam. Good evening, everyone. It is a great pleasure that I welcome you to the 11th edition of Vanguard Personality of the Year Award ceremony. For over a decade, we have continued to recognize Nigeria's most distinguished individuals for their excellence, national pride, and service to humanity in politics, and other facets of, from public service and volunteers to philanthropists and activists. These heroes have inspired us with their selfless acts of patriotism, service to humanity, and innovation. In business, they have also been responsive corporate citizens, creating jobs and opportunities. They have been innovative and forward-thinking, and they, as a whole, they have put the needs of their constituents above their own, and they have been champions for the underprivileged and have stood up for the rights of the marginalized. They have been visionary leaders who have brought about positive change for all citizens, regardless of their background or beliefs. And in philanthropy, these individuals have been true champions of social and have been tireless in their efforts to improve the lives of the less fortunate. They have been generous with their time, with their money, and their resources, and have been instrumental in supporting causes that are close to their hearts. As we celebrate the achievements of these personalities tonight, I encourage each and every one of us to take a moment to reflect on our character as individuals. There are numerous ways to make a positive influence, whether by volunteering our time, closing market gaps, spearheading innovation, being a model citizen, or simply lending a helping hand to people in need. We all have the power to shape the future of our country, and we must all take responsibilities seriously. Thank you very much for listening, and welcome to a beautiful evening. Thank you.
We would like to welcome Dr. Mrs. Josephine Awoshika, who is the chair of Access Bank PLC. A round of applause for her.
Please, a round of applause for her.
A phenomenal woman. Prior to her appointment, she was the permanent secretary in the Federal Ministries of Internal Affairs, Science and Technology, and Power at different periods. This is a woman of power and integrity. Thank you so much, Ma.
And his lovely wife. Distinguished Excellency here present, and indeed distinguished guests at this august occasion. I breathe with satisfaction and joy that we can celebrate Nigerians as living heroes, not when they are dead. That Vanguard newspapers formed about 40 years ago and have started this work of Personality of the Year and recognizing in various sectors about 11 years ago. They have been communicating and inspiring our nation, Nigeria. It becomes an essential part of our building a future for Nigeria. That you and I will know that A is a personality that has done this. And they have created very, very important areas to acknowledge contributions. Like Benga said, acknowledge creation of jobs, acknowledge instituting technology, acknowledge building businesses, acknowledging both the public and the private sector, remembering lifetime achievers, bringing different people Regulator of the Year, Heroes Award, and all kinds of special recognition that span across our nation, Nigeria. We need such. We thank you, sir, for you and your board for making it consistent in the last 11 years to bring to our memory living heroes in our midst. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to chair this occasion. It makes a mark in my life as well, that we can come together. We are not crying tonight, we are celebrating. We are not afraid tonight, we are speaking the truth. We are not worried tonight, we are firm and believe in a Nigeria that has produced about 30 people that will be celebrated tonight. Distinct individuals. Individuals who have done their work without fear or favor, and individuals who have clearly contributed by the criteria to their areas. We must have been looking at the brochure and seeing the faces. And I'm sure you are agreeing in your mind. Oh, A, I don't want to mention any name. Definitely the man. B, definitely the governor. C, entrepreneur. Definitely, she's doing it right. Oh, lifetime achiever. I mean, I had that excitement when I was coming in, looking at the faces that were shown there. They are people that you and I, without being on the panel, will agree with. Therefore, it makes it a worthwhile occasion that we are truthfully celebrating people who deserve. I want you to clap if you believe they truly deserve. I believe, and I know that you believe. Maybe the ambience of the place has made you so relaxed, don't fall asleep. Just keep awake, don't go away. Stand for Nigeria. Stand for the people. Clap for the people. Admire the people. Celebrate the people. And let's enjoy tonight together. God bless you.
Honor, distinction, excellence. These are values that have characterized the Vanguard Personality of the Year Awards. For over a decade, Vanguard Newspapers has continued to recognize Nigeria's most distinguished individuals for their excellence, national pride, and service to humanity in business, politics, and other facets of human endeavor. From public service to volunteers, to philanthropists and activists, these heroes have influenced the course of history in their various fields, inspiring us with their selfless acts of patriotism, service to humanity, and innovation. Over the years, the list of eminent recipients of the Vanguard Personality of the Year Award continues to expand. Some of the previous awardees include Mr. Igboje Ike Imokwede, Dr. Emmanuel Eweta Odoahan, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, Mr. Tony Elumelu, Mr. Babatunde Raji Fashola, Chief Godswill Akpabio, Alhaji Suye Lamido, Mr. Femi Otedola, Professor Baba Gana Zulum, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Malam Mele Kyari, and Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. Other categories include Public Sector Icon of the Year, Governors of the Year, Businessman of the Year, Young Entrepreneur of the Year, Woman Entrepreneur of the Year, and Lifetime Achievement Award. This year, we're proud to showcase the honor roll of Nigeria's most distinguished individuals for their societal impact, excellence, and outstanding achievement across different sectors and industries in the preceding year. Through their resilience, determination, and compassion, these Vanguard personalities have made a lasting impact on those around them. They remind us that one person can make a difference in the world, but their work doesn't stop there. These heroes are constantly striving to improve the lives of others and make a positive impact on the world. As we celebrate the achievements of these heroes, we are inspired to get involved in our communities and make a difference in the world. Influence, whether by volunteering your time, closing market gaps, spearheading innovation, being a model citizen, or simply lending a helping hand to people in need. Africa is on the rise, and Nigeria is leading the charge. Vanguard remains committed to honoring distinguished personalities who are doing our nation proud. Vanguard Personality of the Year Awards, exclusively Vanguard.
This is very important in the times that the first award category is a hit. Please can we have Mr. Biscon Tv and give him a round of applause as he comes up.
Tanker driver from Delta State. On June 10, 2022, when face-to-face with horror, Ejiro put his life on the line to avert a disaster which would have claimed the lives of residents and consumed properties worth millions of naira. Rather than stop and flee when his heavy-duty vehicle exploded and burst into flames, he considered the well-being of fellow human beings and jeopardized his life by driving for over 20 minutes, navigating through the busy junctions and other intersections of the community because he desired to save lives. Since his June 10, 2022 exploits, Otarigo has received numerous awards from the Delta State government and other organizations for his exemplary courage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ejiro Otarigo.
Mr. Ejiro Otarigo for our Hero Awards. It is not easy to be a hero, and he has shown himself. A round of applause for this amazing gentleman for his service to Nigeria. We appreciate you.
Let us keep those hands together, please.
And now we move on to our special recognition.
Mrs. Eunice Onwekusi is a 60-year-old widow and petty trader from Amagu Village, Ukulu, in the Dano-Kofia local government area of Anambra State. She made history during the November 6, 2021 governorship election in the state by rejecting 5,000 naira cash from an agent of a political party to influence her choice of voting. Despite promptings from agents of the said political party, she insisted that although she did not have 5,000 naira, she would never accept any gratification that would make her vote against her conscience. She said, "I am poor, I don't have any money in my pocket, but I won't take 5,000 naira because it is against my conscience." End quote. The woman said at her polling unit, to the surprise of the onlookers, most of whom were collecting the money from party agents. Since her exploits, Mrs. Onwekusi has received numerous rewards and recognitions from notable individuals like Chief Willie Obiano, Igwe Peter Owanya, the women of Ukunu Ward, Governor Soludo, and the Anambra State government and other organizations in appreciation of her action. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Eunice Onwekusi.
Onwekusi.
We appreciate you for your integrity and your service.
Thank you.
To Nigeria. Let's keep.
Please, let's put those hands together for her.
Well-respected energy technocrat, an administrator, and a reformer with many landmark contributions to Nigeria and the global oil and gas industry. He hails from Benin, Edo State. He attended Benin City Government Elementary School and the School of Survey, Lagos. As a former group managing director of NNPC, he re-engineered the corporation to become what it is today, the new NNPC. Dr. Giles Obaseki stimulated the development of the midstream sector involving the rehabilitation of the nation's 4 refineries located in Port Harcourt River State, Warri, Delta State, and Kaduna, Kaduna State to reduce the importation of refined petroleum products and conserve scarce foreign exchange, and led NNPC from the front, raised its profile, and left an indelible mark with NNPC becoming the largest state-owned corporation in Africa while upholding vital values, including integrity, decency, humility, and ethical standards. He is currently the chairman of Brass LNG Limited. Dr. Obaseki has worked tirelessly to stimulate the development of not only LNG, but also other forms of gas in order to assist in achieving a clean environment. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Jackson Giles Obaseki. Peter Edochie. Chief Peter Edochie is a Nigerian actor who is considered one of Africa's most talented actors, being honored with an Industry Merit Award by Africa Magic and Lifetime Achievement by Africa Film Academy. He hails from Anambra State. He schooled at the School of Journalism and Television in England. He began his career in radio broadcasting at the Eastern Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation at the age of 20, and by 1980, he had been formally trained as a broadcaster at the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, where he started off as a junior programs assistant. In 1987, he became the pioneer director of Anambra Broadcasting Service, 3FM Stereo. He came into prominence in the 1980s when he played the lead role of Okonkwo in a Nigerian Television Authority adaptation of Chinua Achebe's all-time best-selling novel, Things Fall Apart. Popularly known as Ebube Dike, Pete Edochie is known for his elegance, cultural embodiment, statesmanship, and mass appeal. He is widely regarded as one of the most influential actors in the African film industry, having spent more than 50 years of his life bringing joy to many homes throughout Africa and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Peter Edochie. Ray Ekpo. Ray Ekpo is a Nigerian veteran journalist and prose craftsman. He is a prolific writer, renowned columnist of the Guardian newspaper, analyst, and an informed commentator. At a time when the nation groaned under military dictatorship, his writing was a force for progressive social change. Ekpo provided courageous checks on those who wielded the greatest power. He shone the light on what power wielders did in the dark and held them to account. Despite being detained 6 times in various prisons by 4 past governments and tried for murder and mutiny for articles that did not go down well with government, his passion for seeking the truth for society's sake led him to becoming one of the finest journalists of his generation. At 38, he was also the first black man to win the award for courage, enterprise, and leadership in advancing press freedom and responsibility, defending human rights, and fostering journalistic excellence by the World Press Review, based in New York, USA. To mention a few, the history of return to civil rule in Nigeria would not be complete without the sacrifices of the likes of Ray Ekpo, who in retirement has continued to seek the truth through his columns in some newspapers. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ray Ekpo. Mrs. Mayan Adetiba. Mayan Modupeola Adetiba is a Nigerian actress, civil engineer, and consultant. She has a BSc in engineering from Columbia University School of Engineering, New York City, and has a Master's of Engineering Civil from Cornell University School of Engineering, Ithaca, New York. Mayan pursued her Ivy League education in the United States, making her the first female engineer to be elected to the Nigerian Society of Engineers Executive Committee. She is also the first female graduate engineer from the entire South-South zone of Nigeria. Mayan is currently the principal partner of Dell Chem Associates, an engineering consulting outfit, and chairman managing director of Mayad Limited. Mrs. Adetiba has used her expertise in the service of the nation in various capacities, including but not limited to the membership board of directors of such parastatals as the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, Nigerian Telecommunications Limited, and 3 times past vice president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, as well as fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Management, amongst many others. She also continues to inspire generations of girls through the Mayan Adetiba Foundation for Girls in STEM. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Mayan Adetiba. Professor Ango Abdullahi. Professor Ango Abdullahi is an accomplished academician and administrator, the former Vice Chancellor of the Ahmadu Bello University, ABU Zaria, and the convener of the Northern Elders Forum, NEF. He attended the University of Ibadan between 1961 and 1964, Kansas State University, and Ahmadu Bello University, earning an MSc in agronomy and a PhD in agronomy, respectively. He pursued an academic career where he rose rapidly to become a professor and later a Vice Chancellor of ABU at the age of 40. Upon graduation from University of Ibadan, Professor Ango Abdullahi returned to the north and started his career with the Northern Nigerian Ministry of Agriculture, working in the research department. The department was incorporated into ABU academically and changed into an institution for agriculture research. He has been on the political horizon for over 6 decades, contributing his quota to the development of Nigeria. Professor Ango Abdullahi was elected member of the House of Representatives, Zaria Northwest Constituency, Kaduna State. He was Commissioner for Economic Planning in the North Central State, Director of Agricultural Research at Ahmadu Bello University, Deputy Vice Chancellor and Vice Chancellor, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Ango Abdullahi. Chief Femi Okunu. Lateef Olufemi Okunu, SAN, is a Nigerian lawyer and a former Pro-Chancellor and Chairman Governing Council of the University of Agriculture, Makurdi. He has a bachelor's degree in law from the University of London, England. He was called to the Nigerian bar in 1960 and from there began his career as a legal practitioner in the same year. He was appointed Federal Commissioner of Works and Housing in 1967 by the General Yakubu Gowon military government and served meritoriously in that capacity for 7 years. In 1981, Okuno was appointed as Deputy Legal Advisor to the National Party of Nigeria, NPN. He was appointed leader of the federal government delegation to the Organization of Africa Unity Consultative Committee on Nigeria Peace Talks to end the civil war in 1968, and by 1969, he was appointed leader of the Nigerian delegation to the OAU Ministerial Conference. In 1980, he was a member of the Nigerian delegation to the General Assembly of the United Nations Organization. He was later appointed Pro-Chancellor of the University of Agriculture in Makurdi in 1982. Apart from being passionate about patriotism, this elder statesman has been at the forefront of restructuring. He's also a commander of the Order of the Republic of Nigeria, CON. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Femi Okuno. Mike Okiro. Sir Mike Okiro, CFR NPM, is the 13th Indigenous Inspector General of Police in Nigeria. He hails from Egbema in Ogba Egbema Ndoni local government area of Rivers State. He holds a degree in English language from the University of Ibadan, a Master's of Public Administration from the University of Lagos, and an LLB and LLM from the University of Jos. Prior to his appointment as Inspector General, Okiro held various positions within the Nigerian Police Force, including Commissioner of Police in Lagos and Rivers States. During his tenure as Inspector General of Police, Mike Okiro implemented a number of initiatives to improve effectiveness and professionalism of the Nigerian police force. This included introducing new training programs for officers, updating equipment and technology, and establishing a code of conduct for police officers. In addition to his work in law enforcement, Okiro is also a member of the International Associate of Chiefs of Police, an organization that brings together police leaders from around the world to share best practices and address global law enforcement issues. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sir Mike Okiro. Chief Razak Okoya. Chief Razak Akoni Okoya is a billionaire industrialist and a philanthropist. He is the owner and founder of Eleganza Group of Companies, which has a market spanning Western Africa. He hailed the Aganza Industries. Today boasts of thousands of employees spread across the country. He also has multiple manufacturing companies in different parts of Lagos, which produce other items such as plastics, jewelry, coolers, cutlery, electric fans, and much more. Chief Razak Okoya is also a great philanthropist whose milk of kindness flows ceaselessly. With a life that is synonymous with charity, he helps the less privileged and feeds people by the thousands weekly and assists the needy by establishing various business ventures for them. He organizes annual pilgrimages for Muslims and supports medical establishments and hospital homes by donating life-saving equipment to them regularly. Despite his business background, he believes in quality education as he has in recent years thrown his weight behind the country's educational sector. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Razak Okoya. Chief Audu Obe. Chief Audu Innocent Obe is an administrator, educationist, farmer, and a politician. He hails from Benue State. He has a Bachelor of Arts degree in French from the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria and a Master's of Letters degree in French literature from the University of Toulouse, France. He pursued a career in academics by lecturing at the Institute of Education, Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. Afterwards, he headed the Department of Humanities, Murtala College of Arts, Science and Technology. In 1979, he contested for and won the elections to the Benue State House of Assembly and was also elected as a Deputy Speaker. As a full-time farmer, Ogbe set up several personal projects, including a medium-scale rice mill, a 14,000 cashew plantation, and a poultry farm. He also advised several state governments and founded several notable projects, including a large-scale pineapple project for Cross River State and 2 rice mills, one for the Family Economic Advancement Program in Abuja. He was nominated and confirmed as the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from 2015 to 2019. Chief Audu Obe is also known for his literary works. He has written 5 plays, which include 3 published works, and one of his plays, The Epitaph of Simon Kisulu, was staged at the Muson Center in 2002. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Audu Obe. Bishop Michael Okonkwo. Dr. Michael Okonkwo is the presiding bishop of the Redeemed Evangelical Mission, TREM, a versatile man of God with over 30 years of dedicated service unto the Lord. He passionately preaches power in the Word to a multicultural and diverse audience with over 180 branches in Nigeria and 10 countries across the globe. Annually, he lifts an average of 500 needy people out of poverty, giving them succor and changing their lives from despair to the path of hope. He does this through a foundation he founded 40 years ago, Empowered for the Less Privileged, ELP, in which over 20,000 people have benefited from his big heart. The platform also offers free medical checks to members of the public, regardless of faith or tribe, donates wheelchairs to hospitals across the country, and provides free vocational training services. His sense of selflessness and compassion in the service of humanity has endeared him to many, including his colleagues on the altar. Recently, the national president of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Bishop Francis Waleoke, described Okonkwo as a global icon, an exemplary patriot, peacemaker, voice of grace, and a man of impeccable integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bishop Mike Okonkwo.
A round of applause for our lifetime.
And so please put your hands together for our presenters of the Lifetime Achievement Award. The first slate of awardees will be presented by Chief Bode Olajumoke. Please a round of applause for him.
A round of applause for Dr. Jackson Obaseki. A round of applause for Mr. Ray Eku, ladies and gentlemen. Let us recognize another Lifetime Achievement Awardee, the amazing Mrs.
Mayan Adetiba.
A round of applause.
A round of applause,
please.
ladies and gentlemen.
Coming up next is the Professor Ango Abdullahi. A round of applause as we recognize our Lifetime Achievement Awardee. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for our next Lifetime Achievement Awardee, Mr. Femi Okunu, SAN. A round of applause, please.
Our next set of awardees will get the awards, and those awards will be presented by Chief Dr. Mrs. Nike Akonde, CON. Please, a round of applause as I escort her up on stage.
We welcome to receive his award, Sir Mike Okiro. A round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Those applause coming through. These are our Lifetime Achievement awardees.
Our next awardee is Chief Razak Okoya, who is represented here tonight. Please, a warm round of applause for this Lifetime Achievement awardee, Chief Razak Okoya, who is represented here tonight.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to welcome our next awardee, Chief Audu Ogbeng. A round of applause for him as we recognize the great works of our awardees.
Let's celebrate him one more time, Chief Audu Ogbeng. Please put your hands together one more time. Our last Lifetime Achievement awardee for tonight is Dr. Mike Okonkwo, who is here represented tonight. Please, a warm round of applause to the awardee, Lifetime Achievement Award, the 10th awardee for tonight, Dr. Mike Okonkwo. And now, can we please have the awardees, all our Lifetime Achievement awardees, please come up.
Distinguished guests, let us recognize our Lifetime Achievement awardees. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your commitment and your works. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, comedians, so we would like to bring onto the stage someone who knows exactly what it is that they're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the presence of our saxophonist, Alvarez, the sax guy.
Alvarez, the sax guy.
A round of applause, please.
Bad guy, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy.
your distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. In case you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Remote. I was invited here to make you laugh. And there is one thing about rich people. They hardly laugh to jokes. Esma, I want to tell you tonight, if I'm cracking so that their money will not waste, I will try my best. Because as I am like this, around coming gidi, inum bimi. My growing up is not good at all. I didn't know this is how I'm going to meet myself. Cracking joke. Because now when my children grow up and they ask them in school, what does your father do for a living? The way I want to know how they want to respond. They will be like, my father is just when I was growing up, it was recently I know that the way they play with you while you were growing up determine what you are going to become in future. Where I grew up is so bad. You know, when rich kids are crying, they sing for them. They pep them. They sing good song for them. Because their background is so good. So they have future. Don't worry. When you hear the kind of song they sing for them, you hear something like, who's afraid of the deep band rope? Who's afraid of the deep band rope? They used to watch Cocomelon. They watch Cocomelon. Yes, sir. When I was growing up, we don't watch Cocomelon. We watch Coco Zaria. Just that small thing is just crying, ordinary crying. The kind of people that play with us, they call them weary. Mad people. All these women that used to retire rapper, they will just carry you. How will you not cry? I want to know how you want to succeed. With mouth odor. They will open their mouth. They will not start licking you. They will lick your ear. They will lick your ear to your head. By growing up, I look at other children. They watch good movies. When they watch movies like Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham. They know Bruce Lee, they know Jackie Chan, they know Jet Li. I don't know any of those things. Because from my school, we speak Yoruba. Back home, we speak Yoruba. When we want to watch movie, you see Yoruba film. I don't know how do you want to understand English. And I fail English very well in school. Especially question tag. Do you know question tag? I used to fail it because till now I cannot understand. When they ask us, can she go to school? Can she kill the bed? Killing she? Can they come to our house? Condemn they? Can they leave the environment? Leave them? I used to fail it back to back. The kind of movies I watched when I was growing up. Movies I used that will give you nightmare. You will not be able to sleep at night. They will not burn you well. Movies like Kotoaye. I want to know how you will not be scared. And those movies, they used to play them at night. Exactly 10 p.m. That is when we used to watch that movie. There's one particular day they were calling Obadedapo. All this I want to. You want to sleep at night like this, you'll be hearing that soundtrack. It will be coming to your ear. You'll be hearing. I want one here. Please let's behave ourselves. Who are those reciting it with me? I beg you in the name of God. God will not punish us in Jesus' name. Yes, sir. Those movies, they not born you well to sleep at night. How do you want to sleep? There was a particular day they were calling Obadedapo inside that movie. We were just saying, Obadedapo. Obadedapo. As they were about to call it the third time, NEPA just took light. And you know that during that time, it's always at night. It was that time my grandma will now look at one of us. You will now shout, Ni Yema Dide Losin next street Walora Ishanowa. At night, everywhere is dark. They will say, you stand up and go and buy matches. Esa. The day they called me, as I was going on the street, especially if someone just died around that street, and dog will start barking, whoa, whoa, whoa. You now see someone approaching you. At night, in the middle of the night, the wind will not be blowing anyhow. You will not be hearing. The day it happened to me, sir, I just went back home. I said, Grandma, she said, home. I said, Grandma, she said, home. I said, they did not have. She said, go back and go to the next street again. Yes, sir, there was a day poverty wake me up around 12 a.m. in the middle of the night. He looked at my face, eyeball to eyeball. He said, young man, sir. He said, young man, sir, I will deal with you. Yes, sir, we were so poor. We were so poor. There was a day I trekked inside hot sun. Yes, sir, you will not trek again. I don't know, maybe you've trekked before, but you will not trek again, sir. You did not say amen. Am I speaking to you, sir? I trekked inside hot sun. Yes, sir, I trekked to the extent that I was unable to find my shadow. My shadow went to hide under the shade. Start calling my name. Remote. I said, wah. A mini 15 naira lowo. 215 naira. It was that bad. You will never be poor. I don't know, maybe I'm speaking to somebody tonight. You will never be poor. Has poverty ever given you true pass before? And you will control it in the midfield. Amen, somebody. Where does that? Kabi Shuludumari. Eperesha. Ekushe. Brashe kunkoin. Brashe. Esa. Hello, sir. I'm talking to that brother. You are supposed to be my father. I don't know why. Esa, I used to. Look at me like this. Can you see me? I'm even afraid of myself. That even though when I get rich, it can't show in my body. No how. I'm drained. These movies I watched during when I was growing up, it affected my life to the extent that there was a day I saw a missed call on my phone. As I saw the missed call, I called that person back. I just said to copy this for 11 naira, press 1. I just started yelling. I was like, is that remote? I said, yes, sir. They said witchcraft wants to do annual anniversary.
MC Remote.
Yes, sir.
Your balance is now at stake.
Who are you?
I repeat, MC Remote.
Yes,
your
sir.
Your balance is now at stake. You have 5 seconds to leave the stage.
Just 5 seconds.
5.
Wait, do you know that people that are doing me can do you?
4.
There was the day they did me, I was just saying echo in my hair. I was just saying remote.
3.
Iwo. Baba wuri. 2. One my gate. You wanna rawa.
A round of applause for MC Remote.
A very enjoyable moment of the night. The Governor of the Year Awards.
And these awards will be presented by Chief Olusegun Oshoba, a former governor Ogun State and an elder statesman, as well as, please put your hands together for him, as well as Sir Victor Obong Atta, former governor of Akwa Ibom State. Please, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for these distinguished gentlemen, men who have created so much impact in Nigeria, presenting an award or awards.
That's right. Media team, we ask you to run the citation for Kwara State. Ladies and gentlemen,
is a philanthropist at heart and the current governor of Kwara State, a position he's held since 2019. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak is a philanthropist at heart and the current governor of Kwara State, a position he's held since 2019. He hails from Ilorin West local government. Since assuming office as governor, he has brought renewed passion to the public office while hitting the ground running, and then by beginning the systemic cleanup of the rot in Kwara State. Within his first 10 months in office, he achieved a tremendous feat in the state, which included the renovation of schools and rehabilitation of roads, prompt payment of staff salaries, reaccreditation of the Kwara State School of Nursing and Midwifery and colleges of education, heavily subsidized healthcare for the poor and vulnerable, rapid payments of bursaries and scholarships. Other accomplishments include the construction of the 2.4 billion Tunde Diagbo flyover along the Tanke Unilorry axis, as well as the Nocha FM in the Kuta Baratan local government area. He's also acclaimed for his silent philanthropic activities. These include education scholarships for agents and provision of potable water for disadvantaged communities in Kwara State. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak.
Thank you. Members of the press, we ask that you take your pictures now.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us again on the News Hour on Biscon Television. I'm Stella Opara. First, the headlines. On the national scene, NSCDC inaugurates squad to protect schools in North Central. Federal government to shut buildings violating accessibility laws for persons with disabilities. In business news, fix refineries to end fuel importation. NANS urges federal government. On the foreign scene, 137 hostages believed to be held in Gaza, Israel says. And in the world of sport, Egypt beat Nigeria 3-1 to lift trophy in African Under-17 volleyball. Now the news in full. The Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ahmed Audi, on Thursday launched a special squad, the Safe School Response Team, to protect schools from all forms of attacks in the north-central region of the country. This is coming on the heels of the urgent need to strengthen security operations across schools and colleges of education in the region. The squad includes officers from the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Police Force, and the Department of State Security Services, among others. Audi, while speaking in Lafayette, the Nasarawa state capital, at a one-day sensitization workshop for strategic stakeholders in the north-central geopolitical zone, and activities of the National Safe Schools Response Coordination Center and Safe School Project in Nigeria, said the federal government had domiciled the coordination of the project with the courts. The CG expressed confidence that the smooth implementation of the initiative would reduce the burden of out-of-school children in the region, while calling on stakeholders to support the Safe Schools implementation project to enable the security agencies to achieve their set objectives. Now, the federal government has announced plans to shut down public buildings that do not comply with the minimum standards of accessibility for persons with disabilities from January 17. Executive Secretary, National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, Dr. James Lally, disclosed on Thursday while briefing newsmen in Abuja at a news conference. Journalists report that the news conference was organized as part of the 16th day's activism to commemorate the 2023 International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Lally said the Commission would swing into action immediately after the expiration of the 5-year ultimatum given to organizations by the federal government, which is expected to elapse on January 16, 2024. He said the Commission would engage all relevant stakeholders to constitute a special task force to ensure the implementation of the accessibility law. In another story, the chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee, Senator Olamileko Adeola, has said the Senate will work with the federal government to make the nation's educational institutions globally competitive for economic and technological development. Adeola disclosed this on Thursday while inaugurating a block of classrooms and office complexes at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Tai Solarin University of Education, Ijagun, and Federal College of Education, Osiele, Abeokuta, all in Ogun State, on Thursday. The projects, sponsored by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, were valued at over 7 billion naira. Adeola, who is representing Ogun West Senatorial District at the National Assembly, during the commissioning of the project at Funab, assured that the 10th Senate will continue to support TED Fund to advance tertiary education through the enactment of legislation. Now, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Anambra State Command, has arrested a syndicate of 4 persons who specialize in vandalizing armored cables and other electrical installations in and around the Awka metropolis. This was disclosed in a press statement issued by the Public Relations Officer, NSCDC, Akadibo Edwin, on behalf of the Commandant, Edwin Oshola, on Friday. Parading the suspects at the command's headquarters in Awka Friday, Oshola said the arrest followed credible information received from a concerned citizen who saw a group of persons evacuating armored cables from an electrical installation in Awka. The state commandant said preliminary investigation revealed that the armored cables are part of the 33 kV dedicated airport feeder from Awka substation that supplies power to Anambra International Cargo Airport, Umuleri. You're watching Biscon TV News. Up next is Business News. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the News Hour on Biscon Television. Now to Business News. The leadership of the National Association of Nigerian Students has urged the federal government to fix the nation's refineries to enable the country to end fuel importation. The says as NANS decried the continued fuel importation under President Bola Tinubu, saying that this will continue to hurt the economy and worsen the forex crisis currently hitting the nation hard. The students' leadership said President Tinubu should, as a matter of urgency, order Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited to take concrete steps in repairing the country's faulty refineries, insisting that only this would make Nigeria attain self-sufficiency in oil production. NAS Senate President Elvis Ekundino, who disclosed this in a statement, said Nigeria will achieve rapid economic growth if it continues to import petroleum products from foreign countries. The association maintained that the federal government must address the current energy crisis caused by an acute shortage of petrol in the Nigerian market by not only repairing the country's refineries, but also ensuring that they work at optimal capacity. According to NANS, the country's refineries, when effective and efficiently running, can produce enough petroleum products to meet the country's daily consumption. We'll take a short break now to come back with foreign news. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the News Hour on Biscon Television. Now to foreign news. A number of hostages believed to be held in Gaza now stands at 137, the Israeli Prime Minister's office said on Friday. An Israeli man presumed to be among them was confirmed to have been killed during the October 7 Hamas attack. Kibbutz Be'eri announced the death of 68-year-old resident Dror Kaplan on Thursday. His remains were identified by the Israel Defense Forces with the assistance of the Israel Antiquities Authority, which normally does archaeology. The announcement comes 9 weeks after the October 7 attack, as Israeli authorities continue their investigation efforts. We'll take another short break to bring you sports news. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the News Hour on Biscon Television. Now to the world of sport. The Egypt under-17 female volleyball team defeated their host Nigeria 3-1 in the final match to lift the trophy of the 2023 Girls Under-17 African Nations Volleyball Championship. Newsmen report that the match was played indoors in the sports hall of Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Park HB, on Thursday in Abuja. The Egyptians showed their supremacy in the championship. Egypt won the first set 25-21, while Nigerian girls fought to win the second set 25-20. They fought back to win the third set 25-22, and also won the fourth set 25-21. Journalists report that this is a new category that the Conference of African Volleyball introduced into the Continental Championship. After the match, the coach of the Nigerian team, Sunday Akapsing, said he was not happy that he lost the final match. He said his girls finished second, but they had a good performance, and he was proud of them. Still to come is entertainment news. We'll bring you details shortly. Welcome back. Now to entertainment news. Ola Deebs recently appeared as a guest on the radio show to explain what really happened, stressing that he did not mean to cause any harm. Going on, he stated that he was unconscious for a 3-day period, adding that it was during that period that his former manager announced that he passed away. The story corroborated with what his personal assistant Abdul Rashid Opayemi said to journalists on Monday, December 4, 2023. He had summed the whole incident up as a misunderstanding, also claiming that the entertainer was unconscious for 3 days when the news was announced. And that's it for now on the News Hour on Biscon Television. Compiled and produced by Adebisi Elegude. I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome to a newspaper review on Biscon Television. I'm Stella Opara. We're bringing you major headlines on some of the newspapers. And the first paper here with me is Daily Sun. And the first headline on Daily Sun says, NJC sacks Osun State Judge, sets up panel to investigate others. You can get that on page 26 of the Daily Sun. And boldly written on Daily Sun we have war over DP's 15 billion naira residence. And the writer says, Wike Moxobi dares protesters. LP insists project wasteful, insensitive. You can read more on that on page 6 of the paper. Next we have 3 operatives injured as NDLEA drug cartel clash in Edo Forest. And that's on page 5 of the paper. Next we have 950,000 barrels of oil cargo berthed at Dangote Refinery. That can be found on page 22. Ebonyi shuts down 5 fake hospitals and covers 107 quacks. You can get the story on page 28 of the newspaper. We also have Tinubu, governors, labor unions, others mourn as Kokori dies on 80th birthday. That's a sad one. You can get that story on page 5 of the paper. Next we have federal government to build houses, clinics, schools, others in Chudumberi. Shatima Abbas, Badaro, Ganduje visit Bond community. And that can be found on page 4 of the newspaper. And boldly written on the Daily Sun newspaper is federal government pounces on OPay, PalmPay, others as NIDSS stops non-deposit banks from funds transfer channel. Says PSFPs essays not permitted to hold customers' funds. And that can be seen on page 2 of the paper. And finally, on Daily Sun newspaper, we have no plan to abduct Emefiele, says EFCC, DSS, NCS. And you can get the story on page 5 of the paper. And that's what we have for you on Daily Sun. And next paper here with me is Daily Trust. And the first headline on Daily Trust says, excitement as $20 billion Dangote refinery receives crude oil. You can get that on page 19 of the Daily Trust. Next, we have gunmen kidnap Nassau Varsity students. And you can get that on page 23 of the paper. Civil Defense yet to produce Media Trust radio tower shields indicted operatives. You can get that on page 3 of the paper. And boldly written on Daily Trust, we have Kaduna killings not a mistake, says Gumi. The writer says, Army's attack against Air Force advice, says source. Officers grumble over lack of synergy between services. We've learned our lessons. Our operations remain joint. That's coming from Defense Headquarters. And Tinubu vows to punish anyone found culpable. Alright, so you can read more of that story on page 4 of the Daily Trust. Moving on, more than 80% of Gaza's population displaced. And we also have ASO kicks against inclusion of tech fund in annual budget. And that story is on page 6 of the paper. We also have Shiroro hydroelectric power dam under threat by bandits. That's coming from GM. And you can get that on page 23 of the paper. PDP backtracks from coalition with NNPP and SDP and others. You can get that story on page 16 of the newspaper. And that's all we have for you on Daily Trust. And the next paper here with me is the Punch newspaper. The first headline on the Punch newspaper says, Sanusi Carpet NNPCL doubts dollar remittance after subsidy removal. The writer says, ex-emir entitled to his opinion. NNPCL remains focused, says spokesperson. That's on page 29 of the paper. Some foreign airlines may quit Nigeria. IATA warns federal government. That's a sad one. So we can get a story on page 30 of the newspaper. And boldly written on the Punch newspaper, we have Kaduna bombing. Federal government vows to punish culprits. ACF demands GOC's removal. Federal government promises to unravel causes of bombing, rebuild affected community. Defense Headquarters pleads. Curb accidental bombings with AI. U.S. Arms Center tells military. ACF demands poll. You can get that story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Next, we have Tinubu Nupeng, others mourn as Kokori dies at 80. And that story is on page 27 of the newspaper. I won't surrender my mandate to intimidation. That's Fubara talking there. You can get that on page 8 of the paper. Next, we have NUC sacks Osun judge, dismisses a delicate petition against Chief Justice. You can get that story on page 14 of the paper. Moving on, gunmen abduct 10 Nassau Varsity students, and that's on page 4 of the paper. And finally, on the Punch newspaper, we have MPA blames concession for $853 million, 1.8 billion naira revenue shortfall. You can get that story on page 13 of the Punch newspaper. And that's all for the Punch newspaper. And the next paper here with me is the Guardian newspaper. And the first headline on the Guardian newspaper is, Government defers as painful initiation to womanhood flourishes. You can get the story on page 4 and 5 of the paper. Next, one-way local flight hits 200,000 naira ahead of festive travels. You can get the story on page 5 of the paper. We also have 10 Lafi Varsity students kidnapped by gunmen. That's on page 8 of the paper. And We have a bold picture here about female genital mutilation in Nigeria. Okay, moving on, we have how President as Petroleum Minister stalled 11 trillion naira subsidy fall. You can read up that on page 3 of the paper. Afexim Bank's President Orama emerges Forbes Africa's Person of the Year. You can get that on page 2 of the paper. We also have Tinubu, Oborowari, Gbagi, others, Mon Kokori. You can get that story on page 29 of the paper. Next, we have, again, queues resurface at banks as customers battle cash scarcity. We don't want to experience we don't want to go through what we experienced, last time. I hope that doesn't happen again. Okay, so please get more information on that on page 6 of the paper. More pressure on industries, businesses, over 952 naira to a dollar exchange rate for imports. And that can be found on page 6 of the newspaper. And that's all we have on Guardian newspaper. The next paper here is The Nation. And then the first headline on the Nation newspaper says, Tributes galore for Frank Kokori, 1944 to 2023. That's on page 6 of the paper. Oil theft. Tantita security forces arrest another suspicious vessel. You can get that on page 26 of the paper. Moving on, NJC rejects petition against Osun Chief Judge Adepele Ojo. You can get that story on page 27 of the paper. VK defends 15 billion naira vote for VP's residence, and that's on page 3 of the paper. Moving on, we have court asks Fubara others not to muzzle Weavers Assembly, and that's on page 5 of the newspaper. And the next we have exodus of skilled youths abroad worries federal government. You can get a story on page 4 of the paper. Well, to avoid the exodus of our skilled youths in Nigeria, well, the federal government has a lot of work to do. Put in place the necessary measures to ensure that we mitigate or curtail this Japa syndrome, because it's beginning to affect the nation negatively. So moving on, we have Tinubu vows punishment for error bombing corporates. And then the writer says, federal government to kickstart non-kinetic terrorism battle in Tunduberi. Government houses, clinics, calls for North State under Fulako plan. Okay, so to get more information, please go to page 4 of the paper. We also have ECOWAS court declines Niger junta's request to lift sanctions. So that story can be found on page 5 of the paper. And finally, on the Nation newspaper, we have 2 kidnapped prospective youth corps members freed. I must say that's a good news. And you can get that story on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. And that's all on the Nation newspaper. We take another newspaper, which is a Nigerian Tribune. And the first headline on the Nigerian Tribune says, Kaduna drone strike. The guilty will be punished, Tinubu vows. Says Tudubiri community to be rebuilt under Fulako initiative. Defense headquarters statement unnecessary. That's coming from Arawa Consultative Forum, ACF. You can get that story on page 2 of the paper. NJC recommends retirement of Osun High Court judge. Declines a delegate's 11 requests on chief judge. And sets up panels to probe judicial officers. You can get that on page 11 of the paper. We also have Sanusi sacrifice for Nigeria, and that's coming from his children. You can get that story on page 6 of the paper. And Edo Forest gunfire attack. 3 NDLEA operatives injured. 1 undergoes brain surgery. You can get that story on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. And that's all we have for you on Nigerian Tribune. And moving on, we have the next paper here, which is the last paper for today. and that's Vanguard newspaper. And the first headline on the Vanguard newspaper says, Federal government increases import duty rate by 22.24%, third time in 1 year. And that story can be found on page 20 of the Vanguard newspaper. Makurdi Naka Otupo Road, Benway's shortest routes to hell. I hope the appropriate agencies are aware of this and will do the needful to ensure it's not a death trap for people. All right. So the next headline says, failed abduction, sue EFCC, DSS, reps committee tells Emefiele's lawyers. You can get that story on page 2 of the paper. Kokori, pro-democracy icon, dies at 80. Tinubu, Oborowori, Newpeng, Mon. You can get that story on page 7 of the newspaper. We also have, boldly written on the Vanguard newspaper, Kaduna Error will be 100% sure before bombing targets. And that's coming from the Defense Headquarters. And the writer says, 81 killed, 70 injured in mishap. It's unpatriotic to emphasize disaster. Equip military with more accurate surveillance technology, Khan urges federal government. Ohaneze condemns act, seeks thorough investigation. US urges use of AI, that's artificial intelligence, to reduce accidental bombings. Corporates must be punished. Tinubu, that's coming from the president, Tinubu. ACF calls for redeployment of GOC-1 division. Others. Sanction corporates, compensate victims. CSO, Islamic Forum, tell federal government, CDF, Chief of Army Staff. And we have Army solicits more funding. Okay, so you can get all the story on page 5 and page 2 of the Vanguard newspaper. Moving on, PDP distances itself from merger talks. You can get a story on page 9. LCCI, NECA laments exit of PNG others. You can get that on page 19 of the paper. And then boldly written here, federal government rolls 548.56 billion naira for federal roads nationwide. Abuja, Lagos, superhighways, Lagos Port Harcourt coastal roads to take off. Okay, so that's on page 9 of the paper. Uneasy calm in police over new postings. Okay, so get more information on page 9 of the paper. And then finally, on the Vanguard newspaper, we have 2023 CAF Awards. Osimhen battles Salah Hakimi for Player of the Year. And you can get the story on the sports page. That's page 30 of the Vanguard newspaper. And that's all we have for you today on Biscon Television Newspaper Review. I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for staying with us and see you next time.
Hello, better people, how on that day? Yes, so now welcome again to another correct Yakata. My name is Henry. I'm a nurse with the drum for Yakata here. We bring with our correct people with correct gist. And today, no be exception because the person I get here now, one of the people will see I don't watch in growth and now wait till I go beat my chest to say I did very proud of. But of course, before I unveil my guest, we will go for a short break. When we come back, I will let you know who my guest be. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back, my people. So prior to the break, Chineke, I don't give no Oko you go. Okay, so before the break, at the time I say I get one person here, and we're gonna give them up for the resounding and the renown and the up and doing artist, music artist. We're gonna give them up for Youngs here. Eyes on my hand, eyes on my neck. You know the neck, you know the for neck. I only had the. How you dey?
I'm good, I'm good.
I'll walk out everything.
They're okay with it. Why?
They push at the.
Yes, they push.
That's so. So how you go describe like your industry journey so far? I know say in over day easy, but how you go describe it?
Very, very stressful, right? Very stressful. Being an independent artist, very stressful. Very, very stressful.
Okay, so you don't get like any challenge so far, like coming into the industry as you talk independent artist, yes?
Yes. A lot of challenge. Like there was one time I went for AY, is it AY Premium show? I met at the board trying to talk to him. It was like, I beg. He just bullshit me. So
you don't get
a lot of things, like a lot of downfall, a lot of, but I never give up. I keep pushing.
Ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sir. Okay, so before we go enter into it, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, my people will go our exclusive segments. And you know, so here we ask questions we pertaining him, career, and everything. So make una no go anyway. Welcome back, my people. So now the exclusive segment now with this. So now I dey ask prior to the break, say I know say you know the day easy for up and coming artists, and you know your story, your journey, why you choose music, why you say you can finish from everything. You say na music I die put.
Music don't be my passion since when I did secondary school. Don't be my passion, my love for music just. Love my passion from secondary school. Like formerly, I did into dancing. I love entertainment. I did into dancing. Then I moved to acting. So then finally we find ourselves in music. So the thing, the passion in it, it give me joy every day. So I'm not after the money, but the fame, the love to talk more about my community.
Okay, so now how you go say your background influence who you be and the kind of music where you give us?
Okay, my background. Let me say, from onset, I've been getting a lot of support from my friends, my family, most especially my dad, my sister. So, that only their support alone, family support alone. I don't care about others, but their family support alone. They push me, they give me more ginger to push myself more further. So,
okay, so for you now, who be the person where they say you go won't work with? I mean, I know say when you come up, you don't emphasize yourself, say I go work with this particular artist or this person. So who be that person where they say you want to collab with?
Okay, number one person I want to work with my young singer, myself.
I like that.
Number two person on Malay.
Oh wow.
Number three, Whiskey, Burna Boy, and Davido.
Okay. Nota Benny, Whiskey, Burna Boy, Davido, Malay. This is a message for now. Okay, so in 5-10 years to come, where you do see the Young CN brand?
Wow, why they collect this now? They collect Grammy, they push myself. People, as in worldwide, nationwide.
Yeah.
Yes, that belief is strong. Way.
Okay, my people, we don't come to the end of this segment. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll enter the hot seat segment. And I know say this one hot, but that one hot pass. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, my people. Yes, so we go enter the Yakata hot seat segment. Now, before we go enter this segment, I will give you 3 rules we apply for this segment. Okay. So the first rule we say you must answer the questions. So the second rule we say you get 10 seconds to answer each of the questions. Okay. And the last rule we say if you know if you answer any of the questions, you go drop something.
Okay.
So they're going to check my time and just hit it. Okay, so the first question, what will be the smallest planet for the solar system? 10 seconds.
Jupiter.
Time no go. Okay. The second question, what do they call the little baby of a lion?
Little baby of a lion. Baby lion.
Okay, what is the full meaning of NIN?
NIN, national identity. National identity. Hey God.
Time don't go. Song association. Now you go associate these songs, these words to a song. So if I call the word, you go remember the song where gets the word inside.
Okay.
Sing up, then tell me the person who sing the song.
Okay.
So the first one now, Rise.
Rise. Two-Face.
Sing the song.
Yado.
Rise.
Rise. Yado.
Yado.
Yes.
Name the name of the song. Okay, the second one, Tired.
Hey God, why did you get this question from? I don't know.
Okay. Okay, so the next one, Don't.
Don't leave me, young singer.
The next one, Many.
Many man don't come again. Many man don't come again. Whiskey.
Okay, the last one, All.
All. Hey, let's see that song, man, about you. Hey God. I don't care.
Time don't go. Oh, yeah, you go drop something.
You
go drop something.
Without drop.
It's your blessing, it's fine.
Without drop now.
You go drop something now. Anything from your body go sharp drop.
Don't be money.
Anything go drop. And the guys record them.
When I look at it in my body. But you know plenty.
Fast to
half it up.
Drop them for you. So the next question. Now these proverbs then you go complete the proverbs. Out of sight is out of what?
Out of all.
Out of all. Okay. Not to know is bad. Not to wish is. Give them. Just give them bad.
Good.
Good. Okay. Oh. Absence makes the heart grows wide. Okay. Okay. Oh. A picture is what dash words.
I don't know.
I don't know. I like that word. Okay. Ignorance is dash.
Why am I head empty now?
Why am I head empty? That's the answer.
I don't know.
Okay, so you go translate this pidgin adage from pidgin back to English.
Okay.
Proper English.
Okay.
So I go talk am for pidgin.
Yeah.
You go talk am back for proper English.
Okay.
So the first one, person wey dey roast corn, no dey go far.
Somebody that always come, don't go far.
Bah! They don't know. When they pray for long life, no dey fear old age.
A person that prays for long life is not scared of old age.
Bam. Person wey dey inside keke no dey look for seat belt.
An individual in the keke does not blah blah.
In a keke, shit. I love that. Okay, so while I be like bicycle.
Now when I pull out, put our other pass can you?
No. English.
Okay. I don't know.
The time, you know the counter for you.
Oh, I'll be like bicycle. That's.
Bang! The time don't go. This is your eyeglass. You go drop at today. Drop something. No, see now our rule for this show.
Oh yeah.
You don't drop it.
You
don't drop it.
Oh yeah, I'm not done.
Bam. Okay, so I don't tired. That be the last one.
I'm tired.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't come to the end of the hot seat segment. We will go for short break. When we come back, we will enter. And this short break we will go, of course, we will go see our Nollywood gang. And then we'll talk about some things we concern our Nollywood terrain. We can not go anywhere. Hello, correct people. How on that day? How things they go? How backyard people? How your neighbors there? You know, love your neighbor, love your neighbor, love your neighbor. It's yourself now go. Love your neighbor. How that day? How's everything they go well? Yes, so now welcome again to another correct Nollywood gang. Nollywood again, I will talk about things where they happen for Nollywood and entertainment terrain generally. And today we count down on 5 most controversial celebrity of the year 2020.
Yes, in no particular order.
Yeah,
Don't
so
create this list.
yeah, exactly. The way I want to talk. But of course, we will continue after the short break. So don't go anywhere if you want to know who make to the top for this list. Welcome back, my people. Yes, so for number 5, make I go back the topic again so that they go understand. Okay. In case of those who just join us now. So the topic and the list where they go down on today, when they count down on today, now 5 most controversial celebrity for the year 2020. So for number 5, we get no other person but Messi, aka the Lamborghini.
Okay. You are evicted from the Big Legacy house. Yes,
okay.
Now. Like that now. Oh, you not the voice matching the voice.
So today we're gonna count down on yeah. So Messi again, now you make unto a number. You better come back. If you want me to talk with a pretty
guy, you don't realize when they flog this guy. This guy really number 4. Tell us.
You be like, oh, flog this guy. So the person where they are number 4, now no other person but pretty.
That boy.
Pretty.
You guys tie that boy.
I don't call the pretty finish.
Okay, no best.
Pretty Mike.
You see that boy?
Lagos.
We guys tie that boy, flog him. We don't call him finish. We guys flog that boy. Wait till that. Hey, God. It was somebody's children. Like people's children. Oh, voila. We see.
Okay. You don't talk on my show.
I'm not done, but for the sake of this show to continue in peace. You know, I'm a very violent person. I'm taking classes now to, what is it called? Is it rehabilitation?
Okay, so yeah, pretty Mike. I don't even know why they put down for this list, but of course, you don't do this.
Nobody think that one thing when you do.
Oh, Jesus!
Okay.
Pretty Mike, no really give us. You know who Pretty Mike be now? They always give us back to back, and I guess maybe because no much event, but of course the one we get chance and opportunity to do. Pretty Mike can't hit the bingo. You know say you don't do things since they nobody notice them internationally, but this one can't give them a new standard.
So don't be like saying
he hits the bingo. This one like he win Babi Jebu for this one. This one even wait till that name Wendy Williams mention them for in show. Pretty Mike did like for over 1 week. Pretty Mike did trend for almost every countries for the world. After I carry 6 virgins, no, not 6 virgins, 6 pregnant women come out. But some people, I mean, you go hear talk
different
sides now. So some people say now just only 2 people, 9 they really pregnant.
Oh, really?
So other people wear prosthetic pregnancy. So me, I don't know how true it did. Though I even get a personal conversation with Pretty Mike, and they tell me all of them get the link for real. So,
bad guy.
We don't just know, but that one puts Pretty Mike for this list.
Okay, so moving on. Okay, so the celebrity wey dey our number 3 spot na Burna Boy. Now, Burna Boy don dey trend from like beginning of the year to the time where you don't release the album, Twice As Tall, his name don't dey everywhere. Till now, currently when this girl Jopel don't come out and say they don't date like 2 years before he even started to date Steph London. We know still really know as the thing they stand like this now. But in now do
So for number 2, we get nobody else but Omo Baba Olowo himself. BMW Chief Boss CEO. Put respect to that name, you understand? OBO. Because you know, I like this person very much. I'm going to talk about them like this. Davido. Yes, Davido did very controversial. Davido the noisemaker. Did very controversial, but I like him very much. From the whole corona with the fiancé Chioma to a lot of Davido, come on.
Plenty. Just plenty.
Too much.
Plenty.
And sometimes I don't feel say they chase clouds, but Davido not the cloud already. So why
you go do that kind of thing?
You know,
if I ain't there now, why you do that thing for where if I ain't there?
Yeah.
You understand? What kind of My mouth not hear that from.
Okay, so yeah. So the video 9 day on number 2. So for number 1, and I'm not the one that we will run down our list again. So for number 5, today.
So for number 5, now the one and only Lamborghini.
For
Messi AK.
number 4, now the one and only pretty much.
And number 3 now Dubu Bona Boy.
For number 2, now Davido. So for number 1, yes, we all roller coaster. Only go coaster, I mean.
This person is a hairy person.
Oh,
like hairy.
My girl, my G, my.
We're hairy.
No other person but Toke Martin was. But of course, Toke on the news back to back. I mean,
I feel like she'd always do news.
Every week.
She'd always do news.
She just has something to say.
Person gets something to talk about now.
No, yes. I mean, from the time when we say, they say her house,
yes,
they don't collect time because of loan. To she coming out to come agree say she do her body. To she saying she do her lips. To
even enter
talking about answers.
To even entering Olamide's album. She entered the song.
Toke did the news for every reason. Yes, so now these people will be our top most controversial celebrity for the year 2020. And I would say when I enjoy this list, we're gonna bring in more list. So my people, now here we go. Close down on Nollywood.
Shut it down.
You know.
Shut it down.
We will come go for a break. You know. When we will come back, we will come continue. Now me and a guy, I still be here. Telling you, Nango. Okay.
Mazi Benji 1.
Nango.
Of no, they add me to no my name, guy.
You know. Now here we go call him a close. Bye. Welcome back, my people. We just come out for the Nollywood Gang segment, and what's that one thing we like about Tonto?
Wow, mama. She's been always supportive.
Yes.
She support people. She support upcoming. She support people when need help. As in, I love her personality, her kind of person. She's so good.
Yeah. Okay, so now this segment where we did, so now here we go tell Young C and make him give us in top 5 music artists for 2020. So Young C, over to you. Face your camera and tell us.
Okay, my top 5 music artists for 2021.
2020.
Okay. Number 1, Young C. And number 2,